Personally, I prefer the structure of investors, for getting endorsed because they have a very well developed, very well designed, structure for getting the information. And in this video, I'm going to show you that what type of information, first of all, they're getting, and second of all, why I believe that they are much better than the two other endorsing bodies. However, I should mention from now that the process of submitting the documents here, it's much more lengthy compared to the two other ones. But at the same time, you are sure that the information that you get and the information that you provide, if it is correct, the decision will be made very fast. Okay, right now let's go into the details, step by step. As you see here, when you're dealing with a case, okay, you have to provide the information about your company, the financials, the amount of the investment that you've done till now. There are some disclosures about any kind of crimes that you've done before, proposals, and also I'm joking about any kind of crimes. There are other fields as well. And the proposal that you are having, the business criteria, if your business is innovative enough, scalable, and blah blah. And the next thing, in case that you're applying for settlement, there are some information at stage 7, and finally a summary, and it will be done. So let's go one by one. So when you come to the main profile of this platform, you will see each of the stages with the amount of the completion that you've already done. Whenever you fill in a field, you will see that the completion increases, and so on. Right now, let's see. You will see. Okay, there is a initial business plan and basic details. Then management, the company information, the company that is active right now. What is the information of that? Then you have to go to the financials, and the financial part is very important. You have to have the financial schedule for the employment, the amount of the revenue that you are going to have, the amount of the direct cost that you are going to have, the amount of the profit, and everything should be projected for at least next 3 years. And when you start filling it, when you define that what is the start date, the dates will be automatically calculated. Then they will ask also about the case of the business development cost. You have to know exactly that depending on the type of the business that you are having, let's say if you are a B2B business or B2C or whatever other business model, what is the main costs? What are the main costs that you are going to have for development of your business? And you should know it from the beginning of your process. For that, I always believe that it's ideal if you can check some benchmarks in your industry in order for your information not to be very local, related to the place that your company is based in, but be updated based on the information of the companies that are already working in UK. The financial projection should be attached, and in addition to that, you have to have your company. Another part which is very interesting is that they ask you for different KPIs that you're reporting for your business, and they ask you that in the last 6 periods, either it is months or quarter or year, what was the report? Next part and next type of data that you will need is the type of the investments that you've already have done in your current business that you're applying for. So you have to know exactly, you have to mention the amount of the equity involvement that you already had, and you have to put the costs in case it's needed. You have to also be able to upload the documents related to that cost. So any kind of initial capital that you injected in, mention it here, plus if you receive kind of grants and so on. As I mentioned before, regarding to disclosure, there are 5 major parts. One of them is related to their employment. So are you full-time involved in your business, or what is the type of the employment that you have with your current company? Then there will be different questions about legal proceedings, as we talked about before. Corporate governance is also the part that in which you have to mention that who is the owner of the main business and who are the main beneficiaries and so on. About the intellectual properties, if you have already bought the domain of the website with the business name, or you have any kind of let's say IP, these are the things that you have to mention here. And finally, another point that they will ask is that at your current business, who is responsible for managing your financials? Yeah, and if it is somebody from your team members or from the applicants, that would be great. If not, also you have to mention that who is the accountant that is handling that. Okay. For the case of business proposal, there are also different fields that we can go and dive deeper in it. But part of the data that is very important is the market research, and you have to provide a comprehensive evidence of the market research as a separate file. For that, We believe that the best style that you can use would be feature mapping and industry analysis based on the format that I've already provided in another video, and you may be able to see it, somewhere here. And also, you have to exactly mention that how much of your cost would be on R&D, how much of your cost would be, and why your business model is much better than your competitors. For the case of the innovative uh, business criteria, as we know, there is a need for innovation, scalability, and viability. And by innovation, they will ask you exactly that. Okay, what is the current innovation in your either product or process? And for the case of scalability, also you have to be able to mention that why your business model or the way that you earn revenue is going to be growing exponentially. Yeah. So in case, for example, you're applying for something like an advisory business, you cannot pass this, a scalability test, because in scalability you have to prove that, if I get new clients, new customers, the chance of, growing my business after a period of time will be increasing exponentially, not linearly. Yeah. So this is the thing that will become very important for you. And in that case, you have to also mention that what is your sales strategy and what is your recruitment, and they have to be sure that the sales strategy would be something that is not directly related to the number of employed people. For the case of viability, also it's very important. You have to have a CV of yourself. Plus, you have to have some evidences that you have the product market fit. I'm not telling that necessarily it is a product market fit, but at least you have to have some evidences that proves that your business is suitable for the market of United Kingdom. Maybe you would be able to mention about the previous letters of interest from a UK partner, previous projects that you've done for a UK partner, or whatever else. The part 7 is something that you are not going to be dealing that much in this stage, because it is for the case of the settlement, but at least you have to know exactly that out of the 6 different criteria that you have for in fact being approved for settlement, what are the main criteria that you can cover based on your business plan. And it is somehow technical, and you can find the information, however, very easily with even with ChatGPT, that how should you fill the documents of that part. It's not very tough, but I am talking about this when you're preparing the document for investors. The amount of the data that they want from you is something that is really interesting, and they have very granular structure. They know exactly what they want from a business, and you can see that you can provide 2 different kind of documents. One of them is application documents, another is a business plan document. As you see here, so for example, you need to have the CV, business plan, pitch deck, qualification, certification, employment, postgraduate, and it's not all. You will have a lot of other documents as well. As you can see, for example, undergraduate, headshot, KYC, BRP is like even miscellaneous. And as much as you can, you have to be able to provide the documents related to the 3 criteria that we mentioned. So either you have to prove some kind of, especially about the case of the viability. Let's go into the details. So for the case of the initial business, the business balance sheet gives evidence of last 12 months revenue, financial projections, current cap table, hierarchy chart or organization chart, evidence of personal bank statement, evidence of signed subscription, signed agreement, and so on and so on. So these are all the information that more you provide is easier for you to get the decision in, let's say, 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And yeah, these are the general information. Also, in addition to that, there are some identity checks and information that should be provided there. The process is somehow very lengthy, but at the same time, the good thing is that when you prepare the documents in a good way, you're sure that the decision will be made fast. Yeah.